This episode of Important If True is brought to you by Warby Parker eyeglasses and sunglasses. If you go to warbyparkertrial.com/thumbs, you can get 5 frames to try out for 5 days for free. Go to Warby Parker.
2-1.
Yeah. Go to warbyparkertrial.com/thumbs.
God, the studio looks so fucking good. Sorry, I'm very happy. Looks like we know what we're doing.
It's like a real thing.
Got that rich uncle and cool
Looks
uncle.
deceiving.
I know. Our best studio.
Great and totally complete.
You know how like you put a suit on and you
Well
feel like $1 million
thought through. Consistent.
Nothing unprepared happens here.
Yeah.
Metaphor.
Clown in a tuxedo.
Oh, that's true. Is the studio the clown?
No, we're the clown.
Oh, but it's
The tuxedo is the studio.
just the clown in an orange foam tuxedo covered in novelty cartoons. Oh, so a clown.
Get a clown in a clown suit. All right.
It's March 23rd, 2017.
And this is Important If True.
From Idle Thumbs, I'm Chris Remo.
I'm Nick Brecken.
And I'm Jake Rodkin.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm feeling spicy today.
Because you ate all that spicy food?
I did. Before we were,
Is that
I don't
makes
know.
you feel spicy in all ways?
It makes all parts of me feel spicy.
Oh,
I can
okay.
say that if that's what you meant.
All right.
It is what he meant. It is.
Yeah, I ordered some food from the Halal Guys, which now exists in San Francisco. Classic New York halal cart now operates in San Francisco, and they give you the like classic white sauce, for your chicken and rice.
Yeah.
And then they give you a hot sauce, and I'm like, I'll just put the entire container of both of these on my thing. Don't ever do that. I basically feel like I am physically going to explode, and when I do, it will be very spicy.
Oh, my God.
And I'm concerned about what's going to come out
Me
eventually.
too.
So,
Great podcast content.
yeah. I'm hoping that it lends a spicy panache to the proceedings of this podcast. I wasn't planning on opening with that. I probably shouldn't have. The thing I was planning on opening on.
Well, you know what? It'll
opening
segue.
with-
Actually, later, my endorsement is related to that. So,
Interesting.
So it's
Okay.
good that you
So it's
started
actually good.
spicy.
started spicy, continue spicy,
Yes.
end spicy.
Yes.
That's our
That's our mascot.
that's our mascot.
Our mascot is
Our mascot is
three-
the
End
abstract
spicy?
concept of keeping it spicy.
Our 3 mascots are start spicy, continue spicy, and end
Well, which
spicy.
one? Am I start spicy? No, you're start spicy. Jake is end spicy.
Yeah, Nick is continue spicy. I witnessed something today that I'm pretty sure people at this point are going to think I'm literally making up, but I swear to God, I am not, and I cannot explain what this means. I feel like I witnessed an omen today.
All right.
So I was on a ski trip this past weekend with some former coworkers, which we go on every year. And today I was going to the sports basement to return the ski gear that I rented for the weekend. And I was coming back from the sports basement to come back to the office, and I was standing at the bus stop waiting for the bus. And a white Nissan Altima. I noted the make and model of the car specifically to lend credence to this story.
That's like what a liar would do.
I know, but
Yeah,
it's true.
yeah.
But it's all true. So a white Nissan Altima pulls up in the middle of the bus, like in the bus zone. A woman gets out. She has a bottle. It looks like a Snapple bottle or something, like a glass, bottle. She smashes it on a parking meter.
Jesus.
Yeah, holding the bottle, the bottom of the bottle.
Like she's gonna get in a bar fight with someone, like a
she just
cowboy
goes
movie.
smash, and then it just shatters, and I hear this like crunching sound. She then, holding the remainder of it, the bottom, she delicately sips the remaining fluid from the bottom of the bottle. Drinks what's left, which is like half an inch of liquid. Bends down, cups her other hand, and carefully picks up the big pieces of the glass, dumps them into the nearest trash can, gets back into her white Nissan Altima, and drives away. Doesn't make a sound the entire time other than the sound of smashing glass. And then she leaves.
So you witnessed a robot
I mean, I may well have. I may well have.
Deducing optimal way to get final
Yeah.
drops of Snapple.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. What?
Yeah.
Hard surface detected. Hardness value exceeds glass bottle.
Electrolytes required.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's probably was the human version of that. It's like, God, this is fucking Snapple in the bottom of this that I can't fucking drink.
So you're saying like the bottle was already empty?
Oh, was it not?
No.
Oh.
So a lot of liquid was
So
lost
she
in
just
this process.
smashed a
Yeah.
full bottle of Snapple on
I mean, I don't know if it
thing.
was full, but it was definitely like.
Okay.
It was.
A decent amount of
When
liquid.
you had told the story at the beginning,
Spilled.
my assumption was that it was an empty bottle and there was just like a tiny bit
Yeah,
left
that
that
was
she
all
then took
nice.
a sip of.
No.
Okay.
I did the thing where I sort of like looked around with my arm, like the sort of shrug look around to see if there was just no one else there.
God, I can't figure it out. It's driving me nuts.
No.
I'm thinking just like, what if for some reason she dropped a thing in the bottle and then couldn't get it out and then had to smash the bottle to retrieve the
Yeah.
item and then was like, well, as
Right.
long as I've wasted most of this Snapple,
Might as well drink some
I might as
Snapple,
well
a
have
little
what's
piece of
left.
the broken
You know
glass.
what? That's a totally
what could it be?
plausible theory.
What could it be that would switch
My
it
mold
like a
culture
key?
got too big to pour out of this bottle.
Like a key, I guess.
But
If
you could
drop
pour-
the key
I guess you're
inside.
Anything you could drop.
I'm not
in.
going to just pour it out on the sidewalk. I'm going to fucking smash that fucker. My scale model of a ship is in here. Like,
Well,
what?
yeah, it'd have to be something just
My
long
husband's
enough.
ship that I put in the wrong bottle.
Some kind of expanding object.
ship.
Some kind of expanding object.
Well,
my,
like, you know,
my
like,
dinosaur
it
that grew
gets
out of
wet
a
and
pill.
expands.
My
I don't know.
gremlin. What do gremlins do when they hit water? I don't even remember.
More gremlins pop out of them.
Yeah.
So you
yeah.
don't like you'd want to keep the
You'd
bottle
want to
shut in that
contain
case
it back in there. Yeah.
until you just had like a
Maybe she
disgusting.
smashed the bottle open and then was intending to fight the gremlins with the smashed bottle after they erupted out
like
of the bottle.
That's like the internet rumor that it was like in Japan they grow cats in cube bottles. This is like the scourge of bottle gremlins where they just keep multiplying but they're shaped like a cube, like that fucking cube egg.
My cube egg.
Her cube egg was in there. What was that cube egg?
God, someone, I don't know how, someone posted an image of some, I guess, 1970s
The egg
trinket
cuber.
called an
Yeah.
egg cuber, which is a little sort of cubical device that you put a warm hard-boiled egg in, and then you kind of screw it closed, and it creates a cubic egg.
Yeah.
By the way, the slogan for the egg cuber in quotes in huge writing in the ad is "makes a square egg."
I mean, it's just that simple.
It makes a square egg.
If you showed a square egg to somebody in like the 1600s, their mind would be blown.
You'd have to get
Would
someone to like
be-
smelt you an egg cuber.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It would be.
Or you could sort of carve it.
No, they wouldn't even. They would just jump to like, oh, there must be a chicken that lays these square eggs. Like
true.
they would just completely skip the logical
There's
process
got to
of
be
figuring it
there's
out.
some wizard who's also sort of a smarmy trickster who would say that he could then make cube
I
eggs
think
with
about
magic.
that so often.
You
I
think about
so
you
frequently
smarmy
think
trickster?
about like if I were in
You think that you literally want to be a Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's
yeah,
court?
I think about that
That's-
sometimes. Like if I was in King Arthur times.
Have you read
and I
that
had,
book?
I think I did when I was a kid, but I
You
don't
should read.
remember.
You should read a Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's court as an adult.
Yeah.
It's a good read because it is weird and it has an agenda that is strange.
Oh really? Interesting.
If I remember correctly from when I read it, which was now like a decade ago, it was about like practical American ingenuity over ass backwards
Like
anyone.
European.
Yeah. Like not only are they old idiots, but they're also English. Seemed to basically kind of where it's like, whereas I am just an American who's got practical sense
Right.
and everyone thinks that it's magic and I can fix the problems and they all hate me and resent me and stuff.
Yeah, I think about it all the time with my phone. Because I'm like, this would be the most incredible. The reason I
You would
think
just be
about it,
murdered.
yeah, is like this is the most incredible thing anyone's ever seen. Like images appear out of nowhere, but then I'm like, well, I'd have no data connection, and then my
Right.
battery would die,
Okay, so
and I would have a useless piece of shit,
Here's
and then
the
they
truth.
would kill me.
You'd be like, "Fuck! I wish I had 3 more of these so I could make an egg into a cube." Then they would be so impressed.
blown away. Yeah,
They know what that is at least. The machine work on your egg cuber is very fine.
I mean, I think they would be able to figure out the basic mechanics of an egg cuber, Nick. Like I think, I don't
you're-
think that in itself would be Incredible.
Really?
Why didn't they?
Really? Yeah. Why did it take this
1970s?
long then, Chris?
I guess you're right. I guess I hoisted by my own petard.
Yes.
They would totally hoist me by a petard if I went back in time and tried to amaze them with my phone.
Wouldn't be your petard though.
That's true. Yeah.
You'd be hoisted by
They
their
would
petard.
they would when I bring my phone and show them incredible things, they would give me a gift of a petard, and then once my battery dies and I can no longer do cool things,
Hoisted.
they would hoist me.
Yeah.
I'd be totally fucking hoisted.
Yeah.
God, I would be hoisted in a just lickety split.
Oh, but you'd be like, oh, so hoisted, and then you would die. And they'd say, that was this really idiotic thing that he said right before he died. Because they had adopted your manner of speech.
Yeah.
They would say pwned, and then you would die. Anyway, what are we talking about?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Here's an interesting minor story that was pointed out by Feel the Darkness on the Idle forums. This was posted in last week's.
What if someone went back in time to like the times of King Arthur and then said, "My name is Feel the Darkness." Instant hoisting, I believe.
Definitely hoisted.
The time to hoist
Yeah.
very low.
Yep. No sooner would those words have left his lips.
Feel the darkness.
I'm feeling it.
I'm feeling it.
I'm hoisted. So Feel the Darkness.
That's also the slogan of the Egg Cuber.
Get hoisted.
Sorry, that whole phrase has lost all meaning to me at this point, like times 20.
Yeah. So Feel the Darkness on the Idle forums posted in last week's episode thread about an incredible renaming of the San Antonio Credit Union. Has renamed itself Credit Human. And they have a statement explaining this. Our new name, Credit Human, represents a new way to express our faith and belief in people and our mission to improving the lives of those we serve. We haven't been bought or acquired. We've made the decision to look and sound like the credit union we aspire to be.
Oh my God.
A human. So I feel like you hear a lot about how long it's going to be until various industries are sort of the work where your average worker in those industries replaced by AI and robots, including like the financial industry. But
Marketing.
I think it is safe to say that has absolutely not happened with Credit Human. This is definitely a human running this credit union. I don't know why you would suspect
This is
otherwise.
a human running this credit human? I mean,
I am a human. Please bank with human. I like how it's
credit human. Please bank with human. Trust your money to human.
I like that it
To
says
human hands.
we've
Human's hands.
We've made the decision to look and sound like the credit union we aspire to be. The name reflects their aspiration. That's a very interesting choice of words. They aspire to be Credit Human.
Before getting into this too much, I have to just say genuinely that I kind of feel bad for this because I feel like they're actually making a really noble effort to just try to be outwardly nice, and I think credit unions are generally nice.
Mm-hmm.
But then the face fell off, and there was a cyborg face, and my sympathy was erased. But like,
sure,
just like they mean so well, and the people who wrote this must feel so bad now that they put it out of the world that everyone said, "You're actually a robot.
You've been a robot this whole time, haven't you?"
Yeah. And then they realized I'm a high concept character in some sort of J.J. Abrams / Battlestar Galactica drama, aren't I? And then
it shed a tear because finally its aspirations were realized.
Well, they have memories of shedding a tear when things like that happen, but now they can't. And they don't know if that's because those memories were implanted and they're a robot.
Right.
And then this person, whoever wrote this
Can we
human,
get someone to give a Voight comp test to Credit Human over here?
Yeah, I feel like whoever wrote that copy is now in an incredible existential crisis about whether or not they're a robot, which admittedly is impressive for a robot.
That's true. That's true. Maybe the copywriter...
Maybe Credit Human is what it aspired to be.
It's a real boy.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. You never see the Credit Human. It's weird that you never see the Credit Human in person.
I have a cold.
Apparently, changing names is something that credit unions do often. Nick pointed this out.
Yeah.
So I looked up some
previous revisions before the robots arrived at Credit Human.
Yeah. These are other actual credit union names that are current or like one revision ago
Okay.
of the credit of the credit human in question. Some of them are sort of just wacky, but like not super notable, like Bullseye Credit Union.
Sure.
That's a thing that exists. One is pretty impressive is EdMed Fed Credit Union, which it took me a while to figure out what was going on here.
Man, that's got to be like a Washington Mutual turn to WAMU thing.
No, it's not.
Oh, I thought that it started off as like Edmund Federal blah blah.
Oh,
blah.
I think it's Edward Medical Federal Credit Union.
Right, the EdMed Fed Cred.
Yeah, EdMed Fed Cred.
EdMed Fed Cred.
Union.
Use prescription only. EdMed Fed Cred. Ask your doctor.
Please. Edward Medical Federal Credit Union was my father. Call me EdMed Fed Cred.
Junior.
Union.
Call me Ed Fed. Oh, I don't know.
There's Village People's Federal Credit Union, Lithium Federal Credit Union. Finally, we have the Last Federal Credit Union.
They're the only ones. They're the only ones that have not been taken over by Credit Human.
I was just gonna say, well, Credit Human, is open nationwide, and that runs for about 50 years, and then the Last Credit Union, they phase in Last Credit Union, and then humans are phased out.
They've just been there the whole time.
Yeah.
Last Federal Credit Union has been quietly.
That's true.
Carrying the torch.
Right, and then in Credit Human headquarters,
Wait a second, there's one left.
we found one.
There's one left.
The Last Federal Credit Union. What's it called? Oh, Last Federal Credit Union. It's been in business since 1986.
Oh, what's it called?
Last Federal Credit Union.
Oh, what is that one called?
I'm trying to search.
Cycle overload.
Man, they did it.
That's how
They
you
cracked
defeat the
it.
machines.
They cracked it.
Yeah.
Classic does not compute situation.
So going back to, you were talking about how you've thought that it would be interesting to go back to like King Arthur's time,
realm. Yeah.
to the realm when there's
Yeah.
you know. It reminded me of a dream that I had last night, and I don't know how to exactly describe this dream because it's the sort of, you know how sometimes you have a dream that has a built-in history and context, like where there's like a tiny pocket world that is created for your dream.
Oh yeah.
With memories.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
all that my dream was my dream was a supercut of a meme that doesn't exist.
Oh wow.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it kind of, but it was kind of like it wasn't literally a supercut, like it wasn't cut to cut to cut, but it was like it was me watching a video where someone had put together like an 8x4 grid of all of the times in TV shows and comedy movies and stuff that this one joke had been referenced. There was, I think, in the dream, either a joke from a TV sketch comedy show or from a commercial. I'm pretty sure it was a commercial. In it, in this, so the way that this worked is like it would show a shot of some sort of appealing food, and then
I can't wait to hear how this ties into King Arthur times.
and then it cuts to Ben Stiller dressed in a wizard costume, which is how this connects. Like dressed in like a Merlin ass blue
A
pointy hat
wizard-ass-
wizard costume,
yeah.
and then next to him is someone dressed as Chewbacca. Except that the face is cut open so you can see, like there's like a hole, like it's like a bad costume, so you can see the guy's face. And it was not a known celebrity, but in the dream I sort of said, oh, that guy kind of looks like French Stewart. And they make a weird joke about it, and then some sort of like orange textured pattern comes up, and then I think like it cuts back to them shrugging.
Okay.
And the dream started with me seeing that scene in a TV show or like a reference to it and going, oh man, that's literally the footage of Ben Stiller and that Chewbacca costume. And then like I was able in my
classic.
and then in my dream I thought like, I guess that must just be from a thing that like that people let each other use. And then I recalled watching, and because it's a dream, it just came up, this like YouTube supercut of like 30 versions of like the sort of rotating food shot, and then the Ben Stiller one, but the edits were all slightly different, and one of them was fucking taken down with a content ID. I woke up and just went, oh. I was elated that I had such a fucking strange dream.
my God.
Anyway, there's no anyway to that. That was the whole dream of a wizard Ben Stiller and like a French Stewart wannabe Chewbacca talking about something that I can't remember with a rotating food shot that was different, and like the footage was slightly mutated in all the different versions, and one of them was content ID'd. Talking about it now in the context of going back to the actual time of King Arthur, it did make me think about the way that people dream has got to be so fucking weird now compared to how it used to be. Like,
You mean because there's so much data to synthesize?
the fact that I could have that dream of like my dream included references to a fake meme that then my brain generated sort of abstract 30 other versions of it to show me at once in my dream of like, oh, that's probably what would exist.
Hail, Jan Blacksmith.
Right.
Last night, I dreamt of a fantastic vision. The king, a roast turkey floating before his visage.
But then there were 30 of him, which would then mean there were just 30 of the person standing in a room. You would not imagine the idea of like a 30 by 10, like a 10 by 8 grid of imagery, and like I feel like people spent the 20th century dreaming with camera cuts. Probably, like some people did. Like I occasionally have third-person dreams where I dream with a camera cut, and now apparently I have fucking internet dreams where content is dreamt non-linearly and like appears with like
and
frames
removed when corporations demand it.
Yeah. Also, part of my dream was redacted.
Your dream was actually DMCA'd by Viacom or whatever because you were dreaming about an unlicensed upload of Third Rock from the Sun.
Right. It's because that the meme itself was cleared, but the rest of that movie used a copyrighted song, so that one got taken out of the grid of cuts. That it was removed from the playlist.
Yeah.
It was like an I'm a Mac, I'm a PC sort of thing, but there was like a sort of crazy 90s pattern behind it.
I'm a Merlin.
Nice way to go, French.
So, God, you're right about movie cuts. So, like, surely dreams weren't just like linear normal experiences prior to the existence of film. Like, that's obviously not true.
For a while, it was probably closer. I thought about this at one point. We might have even talked about it on the Idle Thumbs podcast at some point. But I suspect that the feeling that you get in the images that are evoked when you're just reading a book have got to be similar to the way that a dream would work, of sort of like a combination of actual optical imagery that is presented to you, plus the sort of like flowing narrative and ability for sort of a scene to change and suddenly we were somewhere else. I don't know if a book introduced that concept into the way that a human being dreams, but I suspect that there's no way to necessarily say that it didn't influence it when people were reading fiction or were reading stories that had any amount of editorializing or any sort of first or third person narrative voice, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Huh.
Hopefully people had radio play dreams for a minute there. Where like the dream didn't really have a lot of imagery, but they're like
cool sound effects.
What will become of him?
This wizard and this bear man afflicted with visions of victuals again and again.
A French dog.
Please write into questions at importantiftrue.com if you know the source meme of. I would be eternally pleased
if that's actually a thing.
I feel like the Ben Stiller aspect of this.
Ben Stiller
has
a
a higher percentage chance than the Chewbacca.
That looks kind of like French Stewart with a cutaway face.
Yeah.
Well, the Chewbacca doesn't look like Chewbacca, but it sort of looked like French Stewart was the guy inside.
Oh, gross!
It just felt like a TV commercial thing where it was like the modern sort of just like broy TV
intentionally
commercial,
dumpy,
where it's just like it's like it could have been
it's like a bad Chewbacca costume.
Yeah,
Verizon.
Exactly. In my dream, it was from a movie or something like that, I think, but.
Yeah.
In real life, it would be an insurance commercial or a cell phone commercial.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
With sort of a, I don't really give a fuck, save money on insurance, is what the guy would say at the end of it. And then, like, it would cut back to Chewbacca falling over or something, or sort of, like, halfway taking his mask off and breaking character. Mm-hmm.
Stumbling over some cardboard boxes.
Turning to the camera and saying, "Wake up, Jake."
And then you wake up in your Chewbacca costume.
Well, I wake up and I sort of, I'm in a Chewbacca costume for a second until I sort of throw off the bed sheets and get out of bed, and then they sort of like roll off out of existence, I think is how that would work. We're sort of like, it's intruding on my life.
Right.
And then I'm like, I dreamt of that Credit Human ad again.
Maybe the killer app of VR. VR is it's been on the cusp of sort of breaking big for a while, but it doesn't seem to be doing it. Maybe the killer app for VR is like incepting memes into your head that don't even exist.
I mean, you're describing Total Recall.
Did they put memes into people in Total Recall?
Well, I mean, they could. That technology would allow memes, but it's just like they go poof and plant something in your brain, and that you have a memory of a thing that didn't happen, like a vacation to Mars.
Right.
Or is it a memory?
Or like a really amazing meme.
Or you're like, oh man, everyone loves that Ben Stiller Chewbacca thing, and people are like, dude, that's not real. That's not.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Yeah.
I guess this isn't an example of this because you actually remember the meme. Remember the meme, TM, Credit Human, 2017. But like in a dream, you can have an experience where your brain is like informing you that you're experiencing something, but you actually don't know what it is. But you still feel as though
you get the emotional rush or the feeling of realization or something.
Yeah.
Without the actual like fully formed sentence explaining what it is being there. Yeah, that part's not necessary.
So maybe once we can like incept dreams, we'll just like, you know, one of the sort of tailored like off the rack experiences will just be you're present for just like the apotheosis of memes. Like some of my favorite internet moments ever are like when some internet like, do you guys remember when Netflix announced that it was splitting its DVD shipping service off into a new sort of sub company called Quickster?
Yes.
And the internet just exploded. There was that guy with the pot smoking Elmo avatar who was named Quickster. And like that was just one of the most purely joyful like 6 hours of my life. I just remember being in my apartment, like basically cackling to myself about how wonderful and beautiful it was. And if I could just get that again, give me that Facebook Oculus.
Another great example of that for me was when is it the Chicago Tribune that became Tronc? Who is it that became who became Tronc?
Yeah, it was the Chicago Tribune. Yeah, Tribune Online Content.
Tribune Online Content or Tronc.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
With that logo that looked like it was like the name Tronc is already just stupid.
It's already very funny.
Yeah, and then it was written in that sort of like bubbly 70s looking throwback font. So the sound of the word Tronc and that font, if you guys ever watched like Homestar Runner or Strong Bad Emails,
oh yeah, totally.
That looked like a thing that Strong Bad would have introduced in Strong Bad Emails.
Yep, no, that's exactly right. No, it's tough to beat like a really good internet sort of meme birth in real time. And maybe that's what VR can deliver.
I have to say that is the least appealing thing to me that you've ever proposed on this show.
I don't know, man.
What if someone could? Well, I like that you are skating so close to the edge of the sun. Like it's just like, what if someone could just put a meme in my brain as like the entirety of South by Southwest? You just hear this like most aggressive cloth and foot foley, and it is like 4,000 marketing guys turning to look at you all at the same time. It's like when like, you know, you're watching like an army drill and you just hear whoomp of like everyone turns to do a 90-degree turn. But it's like it was like an invasion of the body snatchers of them all just going, you want that? Got cavemen and lizards up the ass that I can just inject into your brain whenever you want them.
No. Well, I want those organic memes. I want those like shade grown like organic bottom up.
Go to sleep.
Memes.
Go to sleep.
Soft acoustic guitar. Those organic memes.
No, I want the memes that like arise out of the internet.
Like my grandpa used to make.
The like bog of the internet.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
The memes that your grandpa used to make, the memes out of so this is actually the commercial for this device 2 generations from now that will then become a meme.
Because we're the grandpas.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want those old memes.
Yeah.
It's like a Werther's Original ad, but instead of the grandpa giving his grandkid a candy, he fucking jacks something into his neck and pumps him full of like Schneider lens. Look at that horse.
Yeah.
Grandpa, I've seen this before.
Experience it like it's the first time all over again. It just wipes all your meme memories and gives them to you fresh.
I hate this.
It just degrades your brain. Okay, let's take a break.
I want you to go back in time and explain this to the fucking guy with your phone. Be like, DVDs, Netflix, Quickster guy. This is the future. Just kill me. Just fucking. He's like, just
hoist
please
me on that petard right now.
Do you have a virus on you that I am not immune to? Please spread
listen to this
the plague
podcast
to me.
where I
Please
joke
just
about
fucking
this
kill me.
as he's just like cutting his throat in front of you.
Please tell me how great the future is.
It's true. It's a unique pleasure
All I want
of
now
our
is a
time.
robot to inject me with marketing memes. What's a meme?
We're hashtag blessed.
Oh God.
This episode of Important If True is brought to you by Quip. Quip manufactures and sends to you very nice, compact, well-designed electric toothbrushes, and every 3 months they will send you a brush head refill, so you never have to worry about replacing your brush head. They'll send you the battery you need. You can sign up for a plan that gets you the toothpaste every 3 months. Everything is taken care of with your oral hygiene. Unlike those King Arthur idiots, it was all falling out of their mouth all the time.
Like a finger or some bark.
Yeah. Don't use a finger or some bark. Try Quip. Go to tryquip.com/thumbs to get $10 off your first brush head refill. It started only $5, so that's it's a free refill right there. I've been using one. I really like it. It's got this 30-second pulse. Definitely would impress some medieval moron. Every 30 seconds, you sort of switch teeth quadrants, and then you're done in 2 minutes, and you've done the full 2-minute cycle.
They would probably be so impressed by how white and like well-formed and straight your teeth are that they would remove them.
If you would like $10 off your first refill, go to tryquip.com/thumbs.
The like toothless old king really likes that smile. It's his now. Mm-hmm. And then some bro who's there with you leans in and says, "Hoisted."
This episode of Important If True is also brought to you by Warby Parker. Warby Parker designs stylish and affordable frames for eyeglasses and prescription and non-prescription sunglasses. And if you go to warbyparkertrial.com/thumbs, you can get 5 frames sent to your home for 5 days to try on, see which one you like. If you don't like any of them, that's fine, but you probably will like at least one of them. And then you can get it. And you will have a nice new pair of glasses that is affordable. They start at only $99. Don't even worry about it. Just go to warbyparkertrial.com/thumbs. Get 5 of those sent to your house to try them on.
Nice.
Thanks, Warby Parker.
Okay.
Are we back?
We're back. So
Jake's got a plan here.
Well, Nick was talking about an increasingly pathetic attempt to explain to an Arthurian character how cool the future is, and you're just sounding more and more desperate.
Yeah.
And one of the things that he rattled off was DVDs, and it reminded me of an essential piece of content. Which is the television commercial for Star Wars Episode 2: Attack of the Clones.
I know where this is going.
Release on DVD. It is a terrible commercial. So, okay, the reason that I was reminded of it actually is because Nick was talking about DVDs as a thing you desperately are trying to tell someone is impressive, but actually,
there's absolutely no way to explain that.
1, there's no way to explain that. 2, they were impressive at the time, but they have now. Like, they were a tiny window in the history of
impressive things.
Even of, like, media collections. And even by Star Wars Attack of the Clones, which came out, man, that was, like, early 2000s? Yeah. Must have been, because like Phantom Menace was 99. So even that early, which was in the middle of what was considered the DVD craze, this is the commercial for it. I'm going to play it for you guys, because I think you might...
Okay.
So... it's predicated on some impressively terrible pun work, which we can get into after we listen to this.
All right.
I had forgotten how just...
I know what you're referring to, but I've not heard it in years.
On November 12th, who the man? Yoda Man. When you take home Star Wars Episode 2 on DVD, digitally filmed, digitally mastered, a perfect clone. Own the first major live-action film on DVD captured directly from its digital source. This 2-disc set is packed with over 6 hours of bonus features you'll actually want to watch. Star Wars Episode 2, Yoda the Man, on DVD November 12th.
No.
Oh, man. Okay.
Who the man?
Yoda man. Wait.
However.
Yoda the man.
Oh, it's terrible.
Oh, man. I had remembered Yoda Man and Yoda the Man. I was obsessed with this piece of shit advertisement when it came out because of that. Because, like, Star Wars, the bastion of modern science fiction. It's a huge universe that everyone loves. Sold to Disney for $2 billion. Eat shit. Their DVD advertisement, who demand? Yoda demand. Yoda man. Yoda demand. 6 hours of features you'll actually want to watch. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Anyway, listen. No. Merlin, magic, whatever. King Arthur, a fucking king, legendary sword. Eat shit. Yoda man. Yoda demand. 6 hours of special features you will actually want to watch. Before that commercial, my favorite DVD commercial was one that was on version 1 DVDs, which were like, presumably they expected more people would rent them from Blockbuster along with the DVD player.
Yeah.
I think it was probably also on VHS,
Those,
but it
bumpers at the front.
yeah, but it was just like it probably was not the main movie guy whose name I can't remember now.
No.
Man, the movie, the movie trailer guy. It wasn't him, but it was a sub him, which was just DVD, a movie on a disc the size of a CD. But now that was just blown away. Like, just that is erased from history by Yoda Man.
Death Star-like assault.
God, the first digital movie digitally transferred, a perfect clone. Yoda demand. You'll actually want to watch the bonus features. Oh no. Oh no. People didn't see the DVD market crashing. Weird.
Yeah.
30,000 hours of special features. Like the Lord of the Rings movies that came out after these were that, where it was like each movie an hour longer than the regular movie with 4 DVDs. Those were actually fantastic, though. I did watch those multiple times. But
You actually wanted to watch them.
I did.
Turns out when you actually want to watch them, they don't need to say that.
Yeah. Turns out you don't need to use the word actually when selling someone Star Wars. In conclusion, Yoda man. Wait, no. In conclusion,
sorry.
Yoda demand. I love that it says the two different things. I can't tell if the person who made that ad
Right.
just
Do you think
knew.
do you think that they were in a marketing meeting and they're like, all right, I have the perfect opener, Yoda man. And do you think then there was
but then he
there's
said,
a
and the
corruption?
perfect closer.
No. Well,
No.
maybe. But it was like, what is that? What does that mean? Yoda man? What is that? Like, who's the man?
Someone like...
Oh, no. This is a classic split the difference decision, right? Where, like, they had the two, and they were trying to decide which to go with, and then the guy who's in charge of it all was just like, we'll just do both, and then our bases will be covered. So
someone walked in and, like, total Mad Men style, like,
Yeah.
confidently hands everyone a card that says Yoda man, but then one person, like the savant asshole, tears his duh out of it and puts it on someone else's to make it say Yoda duh man, and then everyone goes, oh, that's really good.
That makes
but
more
I
sense.
also liked Yoda man.
yeah, right, yeah.
Oh, what do we do?
Yeah,
And
no,
then someone's like,
no offense, Tim, but I really like.
I mean, that was inspired, pulling that out in the middle of the meeting like that.
yeah.
But I feel like...
See, it's the perfect split the baby decision because it opens with the subtle wordplay for the discerning customer, Yoda man. It sort of combines Yoda
And you're the man.
and you're
Right.
the man,
And yeah.
in a subtle way that the linguistic aficionados will appreciate. But they've got to. It's Star Wars. They have to capture the mass market. So at the end, they really make sure Yoda, the man.
Yeah.
Yoda is the man.
Is the man.
So.
Let's also be clear for anyone who hasn't gone and immediately looked up this TV commercial that at the end of it, it's Yoda like making like a lightning ball with his hand, but then like they badly animate the DVD cover art so it looks like he's like in his hand with the Force, but it actually looks like something like a clip from America's Funniest Home Videos.
Oh God.
This was definitely
The-
ILM lost the Oscar for this commercial.
It was
2 Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the
was-
Clones.
right,
It was
it was
tough contention. Those two teams were... It was like a bitterly embattled
Star Wars Episode
internally.
2 and Yoda demand.
Yoda parentheses duh, man.
Yeah.
God, it was so embarrassing when they read that out at the Oscars and they said Yoda the man instead of Yoda man, the actual name of the short.
The guy was like amending their speech, like, haha, it's okay. The ad says both, but they did not win.
No.
Also, I don't think Attack of the Clones won either.
No, well, they split the vote between Yoda man and Yoda the man.
Lord of the Rings won that year.
Yeah, I went to Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter probably.
Yeah.
They split the vote between Yoda Man and Yoda Man. Attack of the Clones not even considered.
No. God, no. All right. Should we do some reader mail?
Yes.
Rodrigo from Brazil writes, "Hey, Thumbs. Rodrigo from Brazil here." Okay.
There you go.
"I started listening to you guys a couple years ago, and before that, I was never aware of Jeff Goldblum as an actor. He was just the fly guy. Now, with the strange case of Dr. Remo and Mr. Goldblum and the recent magnificent photos of him in Thor Ragnarok, I was wondering, what are the Goldblumiest movies with the most Goldblum acting from him? I love the new show, and I'm watching Twin Peaks for the first time and listening to the Twin Peaks Rewatch podcast, waiting for season 3. Thanks, Rodrigo." Well, for one thing, I want to say it is incredibly impressive and fascinating that Goldblum remains the fly guy to this person, as opposed to the Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park guy.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I would say that has. I mean, I suppose.
Or
those
even
are,
more recently. I mean, you
Well,
know,
what-
he's
what
been in
recently?
big budget
He's
films.
the
at this
Wes
point,
Anderson,
right?
everything
yeah,
guy.
the Wes Anderson
Yeah,
guy.
but that stuff
or like
only
the-
has any currency.
Wasn't he
because
on a
you
Law and
know-
Order or a CSI for a minute?
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
It's stuff like him showing up in a Wes Anderson movie, like the hotel one. What was that?
Yeah, the Grand Budapest
Grand
Hotel.
Budapest Hotel. That only really has potency because of existing Jeff Goldblum associations, right? I mean, am I wrong about
Yeah,
that?
no, that's true, but that feels like that's Wes Anderson trying to do like the Kingmaker move on Jeff Goldblum that he did on Bill Murray by putting him in Rushmore.
Oh.
That's what that feels like to me. Of just like, this is an eccentric cultural icon who is beloved.
Right.
When I feel like Goldblum was
Except-
ambiguously that, but
Yeah,
recently
that's
like
doomed to failure, though, because Bill Murray was like
Bill Murray
a
was
total
huge.
acknowledged
Yeah.
master of his domain, which was
Yeah.
this sort of very particular, like 70s and 80s flavor of,
Right.
you know, this like particular kind of comedy, like semi-improvised film comedy. Whereas Jeff Goldblum is like what is the...
He's an eccentric weirdo. Right.
Let me add a new dimension onto the career of this
Yeah.
just like walking bag of insanity. You know, speaking of which, like the most recent new feature film I saw Jeff Goldblum in was the new Independence Day movie, which I watched on the plane.
I saw that on the plane too.
Yeah, it was offensive in how normal he was.
Oh,
I
no.
couldn't believe it. It's like of all of the
It's the Jeff Goldblum action movie sequel Curse, because that's Dr. Ian Malcolm in The Lost World as well. So we've identified the two worst Jeff Goldblum performances, the least eccentric.
Yeah. We've all seen him live at least once. Nick and I have seen him twice live, and Nick a third time has encountered him at an airport.
That's true.
So we, you know,
a performance he did not know he was giving.
Right. But certainly seeing him live, he is at least as, if not considerably more Goldblum-y than he is in any of his film performances, which makes it incredible to me that it was even possible for anyone to coax such a straight performance out of him in any film.
Yeah.
I find it incredible.
Well, he did some sort of romantic comedies in the 80s, which
Yeah, but
I have seen
I feel like
bits of, but that's kind of where he came up, you know, I think in that genre.
He was still more often than not played an affable eccentric of some kind, though.
Yeah.
As opposed to like in Independence Day and in The Lost World, he's like, there was a guy who made it out once, Jeff Goldblum, and he's
Right.
like, I'm saying this about myself. Like, this is my character now.
But I think you can, like, pre-fly and post-fly are the two Goldblum.
You know, as recommended by Nick, like 8 or 9 years ago on the Idle Thumbs podcast.
That's what I was going to say. Again.
Watch his late night talk show.
Well, that's the most
appearances.
The real answer to this question: what are the most eccentric performances that he gives? The performances, like late night talk show performances, I think, because he's performing when he's on those shows, essentially.
Yep. Or if
and
he's
though
on
that
stage.
is maximum, like Goldblum weirdness.
In movies, though, it probably is the
in
Wes
film,
Anderson movies.
It's probably the Wes Anderson
Because he's in the Life Aquatic.
Life Aquatic is probably the
but,
max.
but Jurassic Park, though, literally the like,
Yeah,
that is definitional.
it's
Goldblum.
up there. It's up there. I think honestly, Jeff Goldblum probably in another timeline would have been relegated to just character work.
Oh yeah.
You know, and he found a weird niche that allows him to just be. He's probably never really been an A-lister, but like he can still like show up to the Oscars and no one's gonna be like, why are you here? You know what I mean?
No, they're gonna instead be like,
yeah, it's Jeff. Yeah, he's gonna do a weird thing. Yeah, it's fine.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
Shall we endorse?
Let's endorse.
All right, Jake, what do you got?
All right. Well, our show's name is Important If True.
Yes.
Whose acronym is IIT.
Okay.
Which is shared with the Illinois Institute of Technology.
Okay.
And my friend's dad, who's like a crazy mechanical and computer engineer, went to IIT in the 70s, I guess.
Okay.
And he told me at one point the IIT fight song. And this is just like, it's a tech university that I think for a long time may not have had sports programs. So this was tongue in cheek, but it remained, if never fully officially, at least very regularly in use as their fight song for a while. And I will now read this. This is like the most glorious and also cringeworthy fight song of any school ever.
There are probably some more cringeworthy fight songs that you would not want to read on a podcast, I would say.
Okay. In things that you could say in polite company in the year 2017.
Yeah.
E to the x dy dx, e to the x dx, cosine secant tangent sine, 3.14159, I pi square root of 3, get 'em IIT.
Oh my
I
God.
fully endorse that as an Institute of Technology's fight song.
Jesus God.
Wasn't expecting that.
Nope.
There it is. I saw a video on the IIT alumni Facebook page of a professor who recently made their students learn and sing the IIT fight song to get like access to some piece of equipment or something, and it was a bunch of really bummed like late teens, early 20-somethings going e to the x dx, dx reading it off a piece of paper.
Yeah.
But it was someone saying, I just hated that fight song and I felt like such a nerd and I didn't want to say it, and it made me ashamed of a school. Like, I'm not a nerd, I just went to IIT.
Oh man.
But like,
Ouch.
that guy can
Definitely hoisted by his own petard.
Yeah.
that guy can just deal with it because that's, I don't know.
Definitely the like sort of jocks of the incipient sports teams.
Yeah.
Definitely when that fight song was being sung, they pulled some wedgies and shouted hoisted for sure. Yeah.
That's probably like the second or third time they heard it. The first time, everyone probably sort of squinted.
Yeah.
And then like like the beefiest nerd that they had who could play the football team managed to tackle them once.
Right.
Yeah. And then after that, just pounded, hoisted.
Hoisted for sure. I am going to endorse a shoehorn. I've gotten
Like a specific shoehorn of yours?
No, I mean not
The blue one.
No, it doesn't.
I like that
I have
guy.
no particular brand.
You just endorse
really?
shoehorn
A
ownership
shoehorn.
and use.
I endorse owning a shoehorn.
I see.
Yeah. I
can't get behind this endorsement.
You can't get behind this endorsement?
No.
I've really been enjoying using a shoehorn recently. I bought a shoehorn, which is not something that it's really nice. You can put your shoe on without having to do the thing where you like slam your heel back and forth into it. Yeah. It's really nice. You can put it on in like a second. The reason I got into it recently is because
You're going to have to explain this one to me, Chris, because
Okay.
I have never had a good experience with a shoehorn in
Wait,
my
really?
life. Oh, yeah. I know they're supposed to work.
When I try on a dress
no,
shoe at a store and the person's like, let me get a fucking shoehorn out. I'm like, no!
Yeah,
I'll put
no,
on
I don't
the
want
shoe.
that stupid thing.
You're
It's
doing it.
gonna
It's like
fuck
when
it
you're a
up.
kid and your mom brushed your
Yeah.
teeth and you're
Oh
like,
my
this fucking
God.
hurts.
I never
I
did.
can brush
Oh.
my own teeth. Or like when your parents do
Yeah.
health, like care things to you when you're a really
Yeah.
little
Yeah,
kid.
but you can
and it
hold
just
your own
hurts.
shoehorn though.
Oh, I've never tried. Maybe I just proved my own
There you
point.
go,
I
yeah.
think I've tried.
I feel like
Anyway,
No, I mean,
please continue.
well, no,
I don't
I
mean to unendorse your endorsement, Chris, but
Oh, you
please
can-
continue.
But yeah, no, we're 2 against 1 here on shoehorn ownership.
Can we veto endorsements now? What is this? This is like a up or down vote?
What I endorse is the ability to veto endorsements. Can you second that, someone, please, so that we can?
I mean, I've just been saying I've been trying to go to the gym recently, which is
yeah.
Wait, do
that
you
is
bring a
like
shoehorn to the gym and
I
like
do.
shoehorn your shoes
I
on?
have
Oh
a shoe-
no!
Well,
Are you singing the IIT fight song while you're doing it?
No, it's just like so I will say I'm not someone who has like ever gone to the gym regularly, so I'm not accustomed to having to like change my shoes multiple times.
I'm not accustomed to gym protocol, which you two might not know. Shoehorn.
No, I don't fucking know. I'm just saying for me, as a latecomer to this gym thing where I have like normal shoes and then I have like my gym clothes, including my gym shoes, going back and forth multiple times in the day, the shoehorn cuts valuable seconds.
You know who changed their shoes every single day at least once? Mr. Rogers. Did you ever see a fucking shoehorn on that show? I don't think Mr. Rogers would endorse a shoehorn, and that makes it really hard.
Are you serious? Mr. Rogers seems like the fucking epitome of a man with a shoehorn.
And yet, he changes shoes on camera in every episode. Shoehorn free. I don't know. I'm sorry that I'm just imagining you drinking NyQuil, going like laughing to yourself, and then also taking your shoes on and off, and like being pleased by your whole life situation.
Yeah.
That said, I'm secretly might order a shoehorn after this episode, so you're
I have
endorsed.
to say, I really enjoy it. I've got 2 shoehorns now. I have one shoehorn.
You have a travel shoehorn?
Yeah, I do. Well, I have one that goes in my gym bag. It stays in my gym bag all the time.
Oh, you're going to be such an old man. You're going to be such a specific old man.
I have another shoehorn on the table next to our front door of our apartment. That I use in the morning.
I keep another one under my pillow in case an intruder should be. You're going to be an old man who's like, well, okay, I've got this shoehorn, and I've got this bag of memes that I can inject into your forehead. Let's enter the land of imagination.
Use your shoehorn, and Grandpa will give you a meme.
If the memes go in easier with the shoehorn.
With the brain horn.
The meme horn.
Meme horn.
That's our new website that gets you bespoke artisanal memes before they break. Mm-hmm. Memes by any means.
God, by any meme necessary.
That's our other website. Why didn't we name this podcast that? We just came up with a way better name and slogan.
By any meme.
Or meme horn. Which one?
One is the name, one is the slogan.
Welcome to the meme horn. Get hoisted.
So, Nick, what are you endorsing?
Yeah, what do you got, Nick?
I don't know.
Yeah,
you do.
Is it a shoehorn?
It's a shower cap.
Wait, is it really?
No.
Oh.
I really love them. I use them all the time.
No, mine's really boring now.
Nope.
It's just a
okay.
sauce.
Whoa. Let's back up a second.
What?
You just said yours was boring after Chris endorsed a shoehorn.
Well, at least that's just like driving down into the depths of boredom and then coming out the other side, on the other side of the world.
Sorry that I'm like
excitement.
No.
Historically.
No, I mean there was
boring to you.
I mean it was just excitingly
the
boring.
It was too easy a target.
Yeah.
But now I am genuinely considering buying a shoehorn.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, let me ask you something. Do they come in different sizes? Do you always have to have the full shoehorn?
Well, so here's the
Can
thing.
you get like a half horn?
There's like the shoehorn I
you
have
get just
is
like a little nub?
I have 2 shoehorns that are metal shoehorns, and they're like, I don't know, 6 or 7 inches long, maybe like 5, 6 inches.
Your standard shoehorn.
They're
Because
like,
I imagine the whole like
yeah, well, that's the thing. There's the whole other category of shoehorn, which is like
a boot horn.
It looks like a
bone,
like a
tire
riding
iron?
like a
prop,
weird,
I see.
like a
crowbar.
BDSM tool or something.
Yeah.
Because it's like a 1.5 feet long.
Yeah, I hate those
and
things.
They're either leather or that kind of like
plastic.
that sort of weird like milky
ceramic
looking plastic.
So that's like the sort of shoehorn that would come with like a valet.
Yeah, although I have to say, I was getting fitted for a suit the other day, and they had the like 2-foot long shoehorn, and after already becoming like
a shoehorn guy,
becoming a shoehorn guy over the last couple months, the long like 2-foot shoehorn was actually kind of amazing because I didn't even have to bend down. Like, you can put your shoes on while still just completely standing.
You don't have to bend.
Well, I mean, it felt luxurious. It was like,
Can you just get like a 5-foot high shoehorn so you don't even have to move?
Or so you could use it for somebody else.
You could hook your shoe from across the room and then put on your friend's shoe.
On your I think.
Just saying.
Can you get a shoehorn that is both, so you can sort of step into them like you're clipping into like ski boots, but then you just pull the shoehorn out?
This is the actual thing that King Arthur would be amazed by. Probably.
King
the
Arthur
full
just
height
had a
shoehorn?
fucking shoehorn.
I don't think they had
He had a
shoehorns.
guy who was his shoehorn.
Well,
Yes, he had a
that's
guess.
true.
Shoehorn was at one point a roll. You'd actually sound the shoehorn,
Right,
and
that's
it would
where
bring in your
that's why
shoehorn.
why do they call it a shoehorn? It's not a horn.
Yeah, you want to put on your shoes? Christ, your shoehorn is here. My last name is Shoehorn because
Yeah,
it's
right.
England. The horn is your last name, probably.
Yeah.
Nick, what are you endorsing?
Yeah, what do you got, Nick?
Just a hot sauce.
That's fine. You
it's
endorse
a
hot
stupid-
sauce? I
No.
made hot sauce today.
Well, all right.
oh,
so,
this is the thing.
well,
This is
it's
the
one of the
bookend.
things. I'm going to endorse
Okay.
a specific hot sauce. So
right.
I
Okay.
read this Serious Eats article about hot sauces, and I've never really gotten into hot sauce. I was just a Tabasco loser for most of my life.
Yeah, that's what I always call you,
you
in
know,
my head.
just a Tabasco idiot.
I call you Tabasco loser.
yeah.
I call you Tabasco Deluser.
Yeah, so so I bought like 10 hot sauces.
Wow.
They just
Oh my
arrived
God.
like daily, just hot sauces just like
Holy
coming into
crap.
my house.
Wait.
And then I didn't really know what to do with them. So then I started making eggs.
Yeah.
And that's probably an endorsement I can
This is
kick
actually
down the road,
making me
but-
feel kind of sick right now because because of my spicy
right.
experience
No, this
today.
is yeah, this
Because
is
you
the
were so
intention.
spicy on this whole podcast.
Yeah.
I don't think you were as spicy as you promised.
I wasn't really that
but
spicy.
Nick's going to
sorry.
close it out with this
Yeah.
nonstop hot sauce delivery that he's
I'm
accidentally
starting to
unlocked.
feel gross.
Oh,
Please
good.
continue.
Just
Let me-
imagine
let me
Nick eating hot sauce.
describe
Imagine just
like
like a
this.
bowl of hot sauce
So here's what it's
with
called.
eggs poured into
the
it.
specific hot sauce is called Hot Winter,
Okay.
which is
Is
now
that like icy hot?
well, yeah, kinda actually.
Is,
feel
hot-
like?
is hot winter like hot or cold?
Yeah. Is it hot or
I
cold?
mean, it's
That's hot
definitely-
winter.
It's definitely hot.
But does it have like a chill to it?
It's very thick and molten red. And so the way this guy made it is he found. Yeah, I know. I'm just giving it to you.
I do not like it.
The way this guy made it, it's actually interesting. He found a pepper that usually has no spiciness at all, but it's got this very interesting, like almost like grassy flavor. Like it's a very vegetable, like fresh vegetable flavor. And then he crossbred it with spicy peppers, like really
spicy
spicy
grass.
peppers. Basically, it's
this
just
is
it's got
great.
a
This is what I
very
need right now.
it's got a very interesting flavor. Anyway, I'll stop talking about it because I think Chris is actually going to throw up on me.
No. So what is the name of the sauce?
It's called Hot Winter.
Hot Winter, and you
hot
recommend
sauce.
it.
Yeah, it's very good.
Huh.
It's got its own flavor that is incredibly unique.
Wow.
And
it's red. It's a
yeah.
red sauce. Red
Yeah,
hot
it's a
sauce?
red- it's a red
And you
hot
put it on
sauce.
eggs.
yeah, you
or
put
just
on
whatever,
anything.
but
you
you
put on
can
anything.
put it
Eggs
on
or
it.
anything.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway.
Hot winter.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. You look so sick.
I just feel
you
gross.
look really bad.
Yeah.
We better
I
end
gotta
this
get home to
podcast.
my shoehorn.
Yeah.
I don't even have any more shoes to put on tonight. It's already like late at night, so I just have to take them off.
You could put on one just to feel better.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us on this episode of Important If True. If you would like to write us email, ask us questions about anything on your mind, anything going on in your life or in the world that you would like our perspective on, please write us at questions@importantiftrue.com. We are also on Twitter at ImportantCast. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/importantiftrue. If you would like to get ad-free versions of this podcast every week on your own RSS feed, you can back our Patreon at patreon.com/idlethumbs. And thank you so much to everyone who's already backed it. The first round of monthly postcards for Patreon patrons went out several days ago, and it already looks like people are getting them. There's some very good monthly continuity planned with those. So if you were in that first group, look forward
Yep. And
to
if
connections.
you're interested in seeing what the heck that's all about, please back us now.
Wow.
Well,
A rousing call to action.
Yeah.
Whatever. Conversely, if instead, if none of that is appealing, but what you would prefer is to make us say things such as a personal message to a friend or loved one, or a quick blurb about your own creative project or business, we do offer brief shout-outs for sale on our website at store.idlethumbs.net.
That's true.
So, we can say hi to your friend or confuse them if they listen to this
Or
podcast.
say goodbye to your
Or say
enemies.
Yep. Yeah. Any of those. Try that out.
You could tell an enemy to get hoisted. That's at store.idlethumbs.net. So again, thanks for listening to this week's Important If True. Tell a friend if you like the show. We really appreciate it. For Idle Thumbs, I am Chris Remo.
I'm Nick Brecken.
And I'm Jake Rodkin.
We will be back next week.
Theme song.
Don't turn off your podcast software. Continue listening for a teaser of a new show launching very soon on the Idle Thumbs network. This show we call Important If True.
That's our show.
That's our show, and it largely consists of things that are
neither of those things.
Neither of those two. However, this new show, named Something True, lives up to its name, delivers only the truest of historical stories about forgotten or minor figures from history.
After writing the check of importance and truth and being blatantly unable to cash it, we should put out a show that delivers on that in full. And then, also classes it up a little bit.
Yeah. So get ready for Something True, sort of short form historical stories written and read entertainingly, coming soon on the Idle Thumbs network. And here is a teaser.
Have you ever wondered what would happen if the president made his dog a cabinet secretary? Or if a famous scientist tried to summon a god? What about if Virginia Woolf wore blackface and pranked the Royal Navy? There's no need to wonder. It all happened. The Idle Thumbs Network invites you to listen to Something True, a new weekly podcast unearthing 8 unbelievable stories, all from the footnotes of history. As we all know, the word history itself comes from the phrase, hi story. Beginning next week, say hi to 8 fantastic stories. Say hi to Something True. Written by Duncan Fife and read by Alex Ashby. New episodes every week at somethingtrue.net. Follow us on Twitter @ATruePodcast or subscribe on iTunes.